player of the 90th Capital One Orange Bowl, Kendall Milton, and Kamari Lassiter. So we'll begin with opening remarks from head coach Kirby Smart, and then we'll open it up for questions. Coach Smart?
Yeah, I'll open with the fact that I want to thank the Orange Bowl committee, the Orange Bowl staff, so many people, Eric Palm, CEO, make this possible. You know, it's really unusual to have people care enough about an event. There's a lot of pride in this city. You see people talking about the Orange Bowl. The Orange Bowl is one of the most historic bowls there is. I grew up watching the Orange Bowl and seen so many classic games in the Orange Bowl. And times they are a-changing. And the people that are part of this committee, people that are part of this city, people that care about this game, it matters so much to them. And I want to thank those people who make sacrifices to put this event on. It's a great event. It's a great stadium. It's an awesome time for our players who get a chance to go out and finish off a season. So a lot of thanks to the Orange Bowl committee, our fan base who followed us down here and came and gave these kids great support. So many of these players that were playing tonight, their last game, were also a part of 2 national championships. And I think our fan base realized that and gave them tremendous support. And last but not least, our senior class of people who care, who love Georgia and just wanted to play football again because they love football and they wanted to do it the right way. So I got a lot of thanks to give out to all those groups.
Okay, now we'll open it up for questions again. For those that are just joining us, please raise your hand. A microphone will be brought to you. And when you get the microphone and get acknowledged, please state your name, your affiliation, and to whom you are directing your question. Our first question is...
Yeah, Brooks Austin, Dogs Daily. It's for Coach Smart and both players. Coach, what was your message to the players about why this game mattered, and guys, what did you take from that? You know.
Well, first, why did the game matter? Because we're playing a game, and as long as winning matters, we're going to compete like hell at Georgia, and it doesn't matter what it is. Number 2, we gave them about 5 things, and we looked at them each day before practice, and there were 5 notes on there, and one of them was the senior class turning 49 to 50. And these 2 guys right here were a big part of it. They're tremendous parts of our culture, and all games matter if you're playing a game. I'll turn it over to them.
Yeah, like Coach Smart said, you know, to me, you know, it really mattered to me, like you said, because it's a game. You know, you want to take every game serious, no matter what the level is. You have to prepare the same way because at the end of the day, this is top-level college football, you know, any given week. So we took that very personal. And also, man, just being able to go out there with the guys, you know, this is a team that after this game, nobody, like, it's not going to be the same next year. People are going to go to the league, some the portal, some, you know, might not play football. This team might not ever be the same. So I feel like you have to really take advantage of every opportunity. And I really felt that, you know, being here for going on my 4th year, I've seen teams change. I've seen 13 to 18 people leave, and, you know, the locker room is very different. So I feel like you have to really take advantage of every opportunity because, you know, you don't get too many opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, I would say basically, like, I think the game mattered just because if you're a competitor, then every game matters. Every opportunity you get to go out there and play the sports you love, play in front of the people you love, play for the people you love, I mean, it's second to none. I mean, you can't take it for granted, you know, the opportunity to come out here and play with guys like this, play with coaches like this. I mean, so just being able to come out there and just go out there with the guys one last time this season, it meant the world.
On the right side.
Mike Griffith, Dog Nation. Just kind of follow that up a little bit closer, Kendall. Right after you said in that hallway there was no way you were going to abandon your brothers. And I think I saw on another social media post, Kamari, that you and Bullard were talking about running it back one last time. What was it like behind the scenes getting the buy-in for there to not be any opt-outs when you look around bowl season and all these teams are missing players? What happened behind the scenes there?
I mean, to be honest, like, the rest of the team kind of took on that responsibility. Like, the whole week, I would have, you know, receivers, the offensive linemen, you know, the defensive linemen, they coming up to us saying, we're going to send you out the right way. And that showed in practice. That showed how hard we all practiced. You would have thought it was a scrimmage the way we were practicing, you know what I mean? Everybody really took it to heart. And I'm just blessed to be with a group of guys like that. I've been fighting tears all week, before the game, fighting tears, after the game, fighting tears, because this team is a family. Like, some people just say it, but this team is a real brotherhood. Like, it really shows day in and day out, and I couldn't ask for a greater team to be a part of.
Yeah, I mean, connection behind the scenes is nothing but connection, you know. Just being able to get up every day and be with a bunch of guys like this, guys that you laugh with, guys that you, cry with, guys that you sweat with, you're tired with. I mean, you get in a hot tub together. I mean, you just do basically everything with these guys. I mean, we even go to class together. So, there's not really much of a reason why you wouldn't want to play with these guys one more time whenever everything's on the line. It's another chance to go out with the guys you love, the guys that you've been with for, 4 to 5 years.
On the left side.
Hey guys, David Hale with ESPN. This can be bring it, but you just won an Orange Bowl against a 13-0 team by the largest margin in bowl history, which, by the way, you broke your previous record from the last bowl game you played in. Is there any doubt in your mind that if it would have been a 12-team playoff this year, or if you had snuck into the 4, that you guys would be the ones holding the trophy at the end?
To be honest, I don't. In any fight, in any war, I'm taking my guys against anybody. That's just the belief I have. I have that faith in my team that, everybody's going to go out and lay it all on the line. So, I take my guys over anybody.
Yeah, coming from me, I'm not really into speculation. But, anytime I get to go out there with those guys, I'm going to take my guys, 100 out of 100 times, just because of the things that I've seen these guys do, day in, day out.
In the rear.
2 questions, BSAV. Question for Kendall and a question for Kamari. Kendall, first, you shared a moment with Coach Smart after the game. As the clock was ticking down, he gave you a hug. What did he say to you, and what did that mean to you? And for Kamari, you shared a moment with Kalen and Warren after the game. What did it mean for you to be, with those guys that you grew up with in Savannah?
To be with Coach Smart after the game, he just told me how proud he was of me. I feel like if anybody knows, Coach Smart knows what I've been through here at Georgia. This not in any way has been an easy journey. It hasn't been just a smooth journey. It's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of speed bumps along the way. But, Coach Smart, he told me how proud he was of me. I stuck it out. I, ended up making it to the end, and I achieved success. And I basically told him, thank you for believing in me. Because at the end of the day, that's all you can ask for. Your coach to believe in you, your teammates to believe in you. That was what I really said. Just thank you for believing in me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to go out here and, play the game.
Yeah, to answer your question, just to embrace, those guys after the game, it was kind of all surreal. Everything kind of came full circle. We were just 3 kids from Savannah, Georgia, and Kalen and I, we was on the same little league team, Savannah Stars. So, just for us to be able to play against each other, basically on one of the biggest stages in all of college football, it's just a testament, for each one of our, all our hard work and stuff like that. So just being able to, have a moment where we're just, able to just take everything in and just see, everything around us, it definitely meant a lot.
In the front, on the left.
Yeah, Connor Riley, Dog Nation. You won the last game of last season by 58 points, and then you win this game by 60 points. Why does your team play its best football in the final game of the season?
Well, I don't know. I certainly think that we get better as the year goes. There's a culture on our place of work ethic that the job's not done. I think a lot of coaches relax at the end of the year, and they kind of just – they say, well, this game doesn't matter, or this game is not important, and there's nothing that's not going to be important in our place. There's not going to be a day that we walk out on that field that Kamari Laster's not walking through that it's not important, that Kendall Milton's not doing blitz pickup that is not important. And I think that standard has translated into, success. And I think that's a big part of the culture that's been created.
On the left, second row.
Kirby, you guys didn't score on the first drive of the game, but then every drive in the first half, and then Gunnar comes in and you guys keep it going. How important was halftime to kind of send that message, and what did you think of how Gunnar played?
I was really pleased. He's a kid that didn't get a lot of reps during the year in terms of game reps. Brock got most of those. And I told the team at halftime, I said, look, guys, we're going to go out there and all the starters are going to play. It's going to be the one offense, and Gunnar's going in. We want to let him play. Call the game and let him go execute and play because he deserves an opportunity to play. And the only way you get better at that position is to go play meaningful minutes and get time. And I thought it was big for him to go in. I thought Mike called a good game for him, and he made some really good decisions. And we think he can be a really good player. So I was very pleased with Gunnar.
So, Coach Smart, you obviously recruit all these guys. Probably know they're not going to get to play that much. So when you see a guy like Jackson Muschamp get the 14 yards and everybody goes crazy, and some of the other guys that got a chance to play and score today, how much does that mean to you? Is it rewarding to you to get to see that and just the way the sideline reacts?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the whole sideline went nuts because Jackson's been doing that. We had to run a lot of gun runs this year, quarterback runs, and we didn't really have a natural quarterback run guy. So Colin and Jackson had to run the ball all the time. And I tell Coach Muschamp all the time, he's a lot better athlete than Coach Muschamp ever was. But I got on the headphones, and it was 3rd and 5, and Coach Bobo called a sprint out. I was like, I don't want to punt again. I want to get this first down. And I said, Coach Muschamp, you might want to step up here because he's over there with the defense. I said, Jackson's going to sprint out, and we're going to throw a pass. And Coach Muschamp was like, oh, God, oh, God. And he sprint out. They pulled it up. He stuck his foot in the ground and got a first down. It looked pretty dang good. He really looked good in that jersey number he had on, too. So he had that 16 on. But I was proud of those guys, and we had a lot of guys get an opportunity to play tonight. And that's the thing that nobody talks about these bowl games. I got to play in 3 or 4 bowl games, and that was the highlight of my college career. We didn't make it to a national championship. We didn't make it to an SEC championship. So the highlight of my career was getting to play in opportunities like that in bowl games, and got a lot of kids an opportunity to play today.
On the right side.
Will McBroom, WVFS Tallahassee. Coach Smart, obviously Brock Bowers wasn't able to play in this game, but he saw him talking to Oscar Delp. What impact did him being here have, both on the tight end room and just on this team as a whole?
Well, I don't know what impact he had today, but the impact he had over the last 30 days was tremendous. He came out of the SEC championship game really beat up, banged up, and did all kinds of work to get healed and get healthy. Mims the same way. They were at every single practice. They were at every single meeting. They were at everything they were supposed to be at, and we told them we were going to bring them down here later in the week, and we did that, and I got tremendous respect for those 2 guys who pushed everything they had to get back and really, to be honest with you, to give us an opportunity to be in the national championship. They both came back and really pushed hard. So they're tremendous leaders. Team has nothing but respect for them, and I'll never forget what they gave to this program.
Chip Towers, Atlanta Journal-Constitution. This is for Coach Smart. It seemed like 2 plays that really sort of captured momentum for you guys. Is the tackle by Cash Jones, they turn it over on and Cole Spear. You're talking about guys who don't normally get in the box score, and then the play with Lab McConkey. He was laughing about it in the locker room that he really wanted to throw it. He hated that he didn't get a chance to throw it. But can you just comment on those plays and their effect in the game?
Yeah, I forget what the score was when the Lab one happened. I mean, the fumble and the kickoff happened. I guess it was 14-3 or 21-3. I don't know when that happened. That was a huge momentum swing. Cash, man, all Cash does is give effort. And we do special teams all the time, and you're like, how does that guy beat some 5-star down the field? Because he wants to. He cares. It's important to him. He's a tremendous toughness, and it shows on special teams. Cole Spear's the same way. Cole Spear's one of our best special teams player, and for Cash to knock the ball off of him and Cole to recover it, and those kids were excited as hell, and so were we because of what they did. And then we've had that play in all year with Ladd. We just never had a chance to call it, and I thought it was a great time to call it for Coach Bobo. They covered it, and it becomes improvisation if he gets covered. And they got covered, and so Ladd turned the improv into a touchdown, and that's what good players, they make your coaches right, and Ladd made a tremendous play there.
Owen Warden, the Red and Black. Guys, you got to see Kendall Kamara, you got to see so many younger players, whether Roderick or even Daniel Smith on the other side. And then, Coach, obviously also getting to see guys like Michael and Jalen Walker make plays and lead the team in tackles. What was it like to see, some of your younger teammates play so well towards the beginning and end of the game? And then, Coach, what was it like to see some of the guys that you're also going to have come back play at such a high level? I know this was something you were talking about being excited for coming into this game.
I can think back all the way to the first game of the season, and I remember in warm-ups, I looked at Andrew and Rod, and I told them, I believe in y'all, because I knew it was a game that they were going to get in, and I told them, I believe in y'all. I know, y'all are young, so your head's probably spinning, getting to the game time, but if nobody's told you, I believe in y'all. And to see them go out today and achieve success, and Rod running through people, AP running through people, man, that just made me so happy. I was jumping more on the sideline for them than I was for my own touchdowns, just because those are my little brothers. I really look at them as little brothers. Like, I took them under my wing because at the end of the day, this is a family, and so to see them achieve success and do the things that they've been working all year for, even when they haven't got all the opportunities they had. There was games they didn't get in. You know, they were frustrated throughout the week in practice or whatever. They still stuck it and kept fighting all the way through, and I'm just proud of my boys. I'm proud of my little brothers to see them achieve success, and, you know, I'm excited to see them achieve success next year.
Yeah, definitely being able to both of those guys, guys like Daniel, guys like Dalen, guys like Julio, just being able to see their growth, from the beginning of the year to now, with Daniel being able to take a punch early in the game and then, being able to come back, force a lot of incompletions, it's just so happy to see, it makes me really happy, because, during the season things can get hard, especially whenever you're younger. We've all been there before. We're not playing. We're not the guy. Whenever you come in from high school, you're so used to being the guy, and then you get to a place like this, and it kind of humbles you. So, just being able to watch those guys, just to be able to grow and continue to progress, and trying to do everything the right way, it makes me very happy. And, like Kendall said, those are my little bros, There's not too many things in this world that I wouldn't do for him. So just being able to see, Dalen get an interception, Dane be able to force completions, even Chris Peel being able to get in the game, it means a lot to me.
Yeah, and those guys, Michael, Jalen, they played tremendous. They were great leaders during the time preparing, and they got bright futures. And really pleased to see all those players get in and play.
Do we have one in the rear? Yes.
Alyssa Lyons, Augusta W. You had a handful of guys in the second and third quarter that had only played maybe a handful of games. I think it was 6 all season long. So to have them come on and execute seamlessly all, throughout this game, what's that like for you to have that confidence in them, knowing that they can go out there and play Georgia football?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they executed seamlessly. There were some mistakes and some things in there, but the results may have been good. We ran the ball hard. We played hard, but we didn't play perfect by any means. And I certainly am proud of the guys that got to go in and represent us. And that's what we said at halftime. We want to go out and continue to attack and play the right way.
Yeah, Coach, Cedric Van Pran, I believe, made his 44th consecutive start today. Can you speak to what that means and how hard that is to do here and what Cedric's meant for this program?
Yeah, it's hard to do. 44th start is incredible in this league. The amount of physicality in the offensive and defensive lines on our league is brutal. And he stayed healthy. He's competed. Probably one of the best leaders I've ever been around. He got the most votes for captain, but not as many as some of our other years. We've had guys really, get outlandish number of votes, Aziz and Nakobe. But what was amazing is how consistent Ced has been as a leader, and he doesn't really, he doesn't care what you think about him. He'll say anything he wants to the team, and he doesn't care what anybody in that room thinks about him, and that's kind of the way the center's got to be. He's got to be a little bit of an asshole, and he's not afraid to do that. And I have respect for him. Coach Bobo texted me and said, whatever night it was, either Tuesday or Wednesday, and he's like, you ain't gonna believe this. He said, Ced's got the O-line down here watching film with Stacy not here, not during meeting times. Like, not even during meeting time. He's got them down there watching tape. It's a group. That's just unheard of in this day and age.
Mike Griffith from Dog Nation. Kirby, I guess recap, seniors leaving, current status, preview next year. You had 2 freshmen starting linebackers. Can you talk about them and I guess the leadership? I know Smile was out today, but some of the leadership you're going to have coming back and what this game means going into the offseason with some of those guys.
Yeah, so leadership at Georgia is not, I don't know how people do it other places, but leadership at Georgia is never not going to happen. Like, we develop these kids at young ages. We put them on leadership groups. We put them in our skull sessions, and they start developing early. And what I've noticed is our captain vote has started spreading out. It used to be 5 guys, 6 guys, 7 guys got all the votes. Now it's like 11 or 12 guys get the vote, and it's more spread out across the board because we have a lot of really good leaders. So we've got a lot of really good leaders going into next year because they got to learn from these guys. And these guys learned from the guys before them. So if that's passed down and that culture's created, it's a really good thing. You're always going to have more turnover on your team now with the age that we're in, but you got to make sure that your team's built annually the right way. And I'm very excited about the leaders we have coming back for next year and the team we have coming back for next year.
For both the players, you guys talked about the importance of having everybody play and sending seniors out on the right note and getting to play with your teammates one last time. That obviously was not true of the opponent. I'm wondering if there was any sort of frustration on your end that you you gave them your best shot and didn't necessarily get their best shot.
One thing that I learned earlier on in college is you can only control what you can control. You can't control what other people are doing, what other people are saying. All you can control is how you approach every day and, just how you handle things on your end. And I feel like that was the mindset our team had. We weren't worried about, what other people were saying, what was happening on the other side. We just knew that this was our last game together, so we, took it serious as such.
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it is, I'm just happy to see whoever's across from me. I don't care who it is, honestly. I mean, it could be Coach Smart. I don't care as long as I get to play somebody.
He means that. He means that too.
Like, it really doesn't matter. So just being able to, just knowing I have 11 or 10 guys behind me, and then just knowing that there's 11 guys that I get to play against, it doesn't really matter who it is. I just love the game so much, and I just like being able to compete. So whoever's out there, I'm gonna give my best shot regardless.
Let me say something on that because you didn't ask me that question. And maybe I'm wrong here, and maybe this will be a bad soundbite. But people need to see what happened tonight, and they need to fix this. It needs to be fixed. It's very unfortunate that they, who has a good football team and a good football program, are in the position they're in. And everybody can say it's their fault and it's their own problem, all right? And everybody can say that we had our guys and they didn't have their guys. I can listen to all that. But college football has got to decide what they want. And I know things are changing, and I think things are going to change next year. And you know what? There's going to still be bowl games outside of those. People got to decide what they want and what they really want to get out of it, because it's really unfortunate for those kids on that sideline that had to play in that game that didn't have their full arsenal. And it affected the game 100%.
Our final question.
Janier Kirby, I know Dejon Esbert hasn't announced what he's going to do next, but if he never suits up in the red and black again, can you just talk about the player he is and how it was to coach him?
Well, he's quiet. Kendall will tell you that. You can't get Dejon to say nothing. And he's from Colquitt County, which used to beat up on me in high school all the time. So every time I see him and talk to him, I love on him, hug his neck, and he's become such a great person. He's one semester away from graduating. So proud of who Dejon is and what he's grown to be. I mean, here he is, a kid that wasn't even that heavily recruited. We took the kid because we knew he was tough as hell. He would work hard, and he had a tremendous season for us to really help us. Before we break, I want to say something about these two guys. Kendall has meant a lot to this program. He's given so much. He's been through a lot. He said that. I still remember going all the way to California, being in his house, seeing him and his parents, and he sacrificed a ton to make this program a better place, and he's worked his tail off. So I thank you, Kendall, publicly for what you've done. And I want to tell this story on Kamari because, it shouldn't go unnoticed. Kamari Lastner had a 1-2 grade, first, second round grade, and Kamari had to make a tough decision like all these other people. And I called Kamari in and I talked to him, and I told him, Kamari, you should come out for the draft. That's my opinion. You're one of the top corners in the draft. You got to make that decision, okay? That's one decision. Then the second decision is you got to decide if you want to play in this bowl game. I don't know that you got a lot to gain in this bowl game, Kamari, but I do know who you are, and I do know how you practice, and I do know how you lead, but I'm not going to be disappointed in anything you decide. He came back about 3 or 4 days later, and I met with him and his mom and talked to him and fully expected him not to play in this game. He called me 2 days later, said, Coach, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm sitting out. I'm over there coaching. I can't do it. I want to be out there. I want to play with my guys. And I think he did it against his mother's will, to be honest. Now, I don't know that, but I think he did it against his mother's will because that's who he is. So all these teams that go shopping, this dude right here wants to play football. That's all he cares about is playing football and his teammates. He ain't worried about the next thing and all that and all that. He said, I want to play football. And he played football for the University of Georgia. And he did it when he didn't have to do it. And that's what's different at this place than a lot of other places. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Appreciate
Coach
y'all.
Smart, Kendall, Kamari.